Did Jennifer Lopez threaten Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes? 4 years. One of Hollywood's most talked about behind-the-scenes anecdotes has been the story that Jennifer Lopez once threatened comedian Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globe Awards. The idea of a mild-mannered celebrity launching into a full-on threat sounds like something straight out of a movie. But how much of that story is real, and how much is Hollywood lore? Today we're diving deep, breaking down what actually happened, what both sides have said, and how this moment became part of award show folklore. Let's get into it. First, a quick refresher. Ricky Gervais, a British comedian known for sharp, no-holds-barred satire. He's been host of the Golden Globes multiple times, and his style is notorious for poking fun at Hollywood elites. Jennifer Lopez, a global superstar entertainer, actress, and singer who rose from tough, working-class beginnings to become one of the most recognizable figures in entertainment. When Gervais hosted the Golden Globes, especially in the early 2010s, his comedy frequently included biting jabs aimed at celebrities. Many attendees braced themselves for what he might say according to various entertainment news reports. During one Golden Globe ceremony, Jennifer Lopez was in the audience, along with many other stars, watching Ricky Gervais' unpredictable monologue. Fearing that Gervais would single her out with a sharp joke, Lopez approached him backstage before she was set to present an award. Reports said she confronted him, telling him something along the lines of, "Listen, I'm from the Bronx. I fight. My husband fights. We'll beat you up after the show." Or variations of that phrasing. Most media outlets described this as Lopez threatening Gervais, though nothing violent actually happened. Interestingly, Gervais did make a joke about Jennifer Lopez that night, but it was relatively mild compared to his typical barbs. He introduced her with this quip: "She's just Jenny from the block, if the block in question is that one on Rodeo Drive between Cartier and Prada." That's actually quite tame in the context of Gervais' usual style, and Lopez herself later said she was relieved by it. So if Gervais did plan something harsher, it never made it to the telecast, or at least not in public reports. Later on talk shows and interviews, Lopez addressed the story. She laughed about it and admitted that she did confront Gervais before presenting. She did use strong language and colorful threats. But she made it clear she was more anxious about what Gervais might say than seriously plotting anything physical. After hearing the joke that aired, she said it was funnier than she expected and she even enjoyed it. So was it a literal threat, or Hollywood hyperbole? There are a few reasons why this moment became such a talked-about anecdote. Medium White Star 1. Ricky Gervais' roast reputation. Gervais' hosting style has always leaned into the brutal roast format. He takes aim at power, ego, and celebrity culture. Some attendees braced for impact at every show he hosted. Medium White Star 2. Lopez's image. J.Lo is known for her strong personality and confidence, especially for her Jenny from the block roots. The idea of her boldly confronting someone backstage fits the mythos many fans have come to enjoy. Medium White Star 3. Memoir-style retellings. Once a story like this gets repeated in media, it evolves into a legend. Headlines often framed it as a threat without the full context, making it seem more dramatic than it actually was. And when audiences hear threatened and Golden Globes together, it makes for a catchy yarn, even years later. So what actually happened? #. Lopez confronted Gervais backstage. #. She expressed worry about being roasted. #. She used emphatic language and joking threats. #. Gervais still made a joke about her, but it was relatively mild. #. Lopez later admitted she was more nervous than angry. #. There was no physical threat or altercation. In other words, it wasn't a true threat in the criminal sense, nor did it disrupt the show. Just an emotionally charged, humorous exchange that turned into a memorable anecdote. So did Jennifer Lopez threaten Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes? The answer is, sort of, but mostly in jest. She did warn him that he might regret making jokes about her, using colorful language and Bronx bravado, but when Gervais actually did mention her, it was in a light-hearted way that she later admitted she could laugh off. There was no backstage fight, no scandal, no arrest, and the moment endures mainly because it highlights Hollywood's intense awards season pressure, Gervais' unfiltered comedic style, and Lopez's fierce personality, wrapped in humor. It's a classic Hollywood moment, but one that's better remembered as fun behind-the-scenes spice than actual beef.